Thanks to the new Far Cry New Dawn story trailer, we know we can encounter the father in this new game and maybe even join forces to take out the new Highwayman enemies. Well, in my recent Far Cry New Dawn play session, I went back to Duchess Island, where it all ended in Far Cry 5, and already stumbled upon the first Joseph Seed mission. But yeah, he's not the only one that is alive, because the character you play as in Far Cry 5 should be as well. And I think I know who that is. I got some proof to back it up. So let's get into it. If you enjoyed that, then a like would be super appreciated. And let's go. The moment you set foot on Duchess Island in Far Cry New Dawn, so yes, that would be in the middle of the whole map. The small island where you start in Far Cry 5, of course, and have to clear your first outpost, liberate that land. Well, if you go there now in New Dawn, then you will immediately hallucinate some weird things and hear Joseph Seed talk to you. The world suddenly becomes darker and you see these purple beams in the distance in 3 locations. And you might remember those locations from Far Cry 5, like that first outpost you captured. And that's actually the place where I went to first. And boom, Joseph is standing there with the Eden's Gate sign that you can interact with to grab a small piece of it, and then you get the Prophecy main story mission. And this seems to be the start of the main story questline that shows you what happened to the cultist enemies from Far Cry 5 that survived, and how they changed as we saw in pieces of the story trailer. Also funny, when doing the first main mission in the open world, you have to rescue Rush out of a mine, and then he also says that one day the mine was attacked by people from the Stone Age. Well, we will see later on in this video that he's referring to the cultists from Far Cry 5 that now live like prehistoric people. Pretty interesting to see, but let's start from the beginning, because first we have to solve 3 puzzles to get inside Duchess bunker, where the father and you the player were of course hiding at the end of Far Cry 5. So the idea with the puzzle is that you have to align the symbol that you got with something in the area to make the Eden's Gate a sign. Some are easy and require you to break some things that are blocking like the rest of the sign, and then you hold up the symbol to make the sign. And you will also see that you are inside the search sort of area, so that will help you as well to know where you have to stand. So we got the first one. Let's travel to the other beam and investigate that. For this one we have to craft a Molotov cocktail via the new sort of crafting menu. It's pretty easy, you see it now in a sort of vertical line next to your weapon wheel. So let's throw it, and then the sign is visible again, so we can align the symbol. And also the pink lanterns like in the area give you an indication of where you have to stand to make the symbol work. The puzzle at the outpost I showed you earlier was the hardest, because here you have to pull something to have the sort of mill move to choose the right position. So there are multiple options and you have to stand inside the building to make the sign work, but luckily in the end I figured out how it should be. But I might do a quick guide around launch so you know how to solve the puzzles. For this video I just want to show you the new gameplay that I got and explore and discuss the mysteries that lie ahead, because after completing the 3 locations we have to investigate the cross where the father is again pointing into a direction. Let's see what that's about.
Sin is in our blood, our flesh, our souls. God told me of the collapse. I gathered my family to prepare for it. But hell had followed the white horse, the one that could not walk away.
So we're now inside Duchess bunker, where the father and you the player were again hiding from the collapse after the ending of Far Cry 5.
I thought I had fulfilled my obligation to God, but he had one more thing to say to me. He told me you would be worthy of this.
And what is interesting is that there are a lot of notes here in its bunker, kind of painting a picture of what happened here during the 17 years that of course passed by after the ending of Far Cry 5, while Joseph and the deputy were inside. We find Joseph's diary saying that the deputy is wrecked by guilt. I thought about killing them as a mercy, but I will have them understand my forgiveness. I will have them know what it is to be judged as they have judged. And this likely referring to the people that did not believe Joseph right when he said that the world would come to an end. And judge is an interesting word choice here. There are namely other notes in this bunker as well from the deputy that show that he has changed a lot. This one is the most interesting and also hints a lot at his new identity in New Dawn. You know best, God tells you. If I listen to you, it's good and right, and I can help, and I can save people and make it right, and everything will be okay. I mean, you as a Far Cry 5 player of course failed, because you would not believe that the world would come to an end, and killed people that warned others about it. So yes, not weird that the deputy feels guilt and wants to make things right. But later on in the note, things get even more interesting. If I judge as your judge, the judgment is right. And just the judgment is God's word. I see now. I'm so sorry. Please give me a mask. I am afraid. No one can know me. Please let me be reborn like the world. Cleansed of sin. New I will fight to cleanse the sin. Thank you, Joseph. Thank you, Father. So yes, this has to be the note from the deputy, right? That shows you that he totally changed his beliefs after what happened. And now he wants a mask to hide himself. If I judge as your judge, the judgment is right. Well, there happens to be a new gun for hire in New Dawn, who is called the Judge and has this hockey style mask. Ubisoft recently released a cosplay guide for all the guns for hire in Far Cry New Dawn and some of the main story characters as well. And there we also have a description for the Judge. The Judge is the Father's shadow. They speak no words and obey the Father perfectly. They are a symbol for New Eden, that they will all be judged by their actions, but that also even the worst sinner can be forgiven. The Judge is never seen without their mask, and their true identity is a mystery. Sounds like the potential deputy for sure, right? And you unlock this guy as your gun for hire, or actually bow for hire, by doing the New Eden sort of main missions. And I of course don't want to spoil everything, because it's really fun of course to explore it for yourself, but I want to like show you the first part of it, like the really small first part that you can already do once you start the game. Because now that we got the book, we can leave the bunker and then suddenly everything is normal again. And of course, I totally went back inside the bunker to see how it looks with the different lights. And now the room where you got this book and found the note from the deputy looks even scarier with all the papers on the wall. Pretty interesting, but there's not much else here as far as I could see. So I decided to take a boat, or actually kill an enemy and take her boat, to go to the New Eden story mission that showed up on my world map. But first, while traveling, I came across the familiar compound area where the last battle of Far Cry 5 of course took place, but we mostly went to for the live event challenges if you played Far Cry 5 of course a lot after launch, since this was one of the only places that still had some enemies to kill after you finished the main story. Well, now it's completely underwater, looking pretty sad, but cool to explore. So I went inside Joseph's church and found this letter there about someone like who survived as well thanks to the Father, and met people that were now New Eden. They told me that they had walked through Eden's gate and were now New Eden, and that I must leave my guns and boat behind. The note ends with that we should find them. So let's do that, right? So with this book you go inside the big fort where New Eden is. It's made out of wood. The judge opens the door, as you already saw in footage earlier in this video, and he takes you to his new boss now. The Father or someone else. And I really like the look of this sort of small wooden village inside this fort, with children playing, people working, we see a lot of animals, and then we reach the new church. Let's go inside.
You aren't what I was expecting. Maybe the same could be said for me. If you came here looking for the old man, well, do you have the book? Do you know what that is? The word of Joseph. His teachings, his guidance, his wisdom. this madness. I have searched everywhere for this book. Joseph said the one who found it would be ordained by God to be the true ruler of Eden. And you are the one who returns it to us. It should have been me. I'm the one they turned to when he disappeared into the north. I'm the one who has held this family together. I'm the one they chose to lead. I have protected them from the locusts and the snakes. I have kept us all alive and safe within these walls, not the old man, me! My father wanted to build a paradise, but when it got too hard, he ran away. You came here looking for his help, but Joseph is dead. No one wants to acknowledge this, but it's the truth. Our family still believes in him, and they'll never stop believing in him until they understand that he was not a messiah, he was just a man. Help me show them. Bring back proof of his death, and I'll help your people. But New Eden will not allow you to travel north until you prove yourself worthy by lighting the flame of Eden. The people know this mark. And they will lead you to the flame.
And this is also where my play session stopped, but totally got me interested in the story for sure. We of course already saw Joseph in the trailer, so we know he's not dead. But yeah, now you're sort of collaborating with the cultists from Far Cry 5 that are now living like prehistoric people to survive. I'm really curious to see where this will lead, because obviously you don't want to believe that they are suddenly the good guys now helping you out. And with the way Far Cry 5 ended, everything can really happen. But I think that this gameplay really showed you that New Dawn is a sort of love letter to the Far Cry 5 fans that cared about the story. Like me, I really enjoyed that part of the game. So really curious to see where this will lead, and we will find out soon enough. Because the game of course comes out on February 15th, so really soon. Subscribe for way more New Dawn content, tips and tricks, everything you come to expect from me, just like Far Cry 5. Like the video to support channel, and check out my recent video on sort of the world map and all the content in the game, and also all the weapons that you can get in Far Cry New Dawn. For now, I will speak to you next time, and goodbye.